This is Katana. She is a DCU character associated with the Outsiders mostly. Today I'm going to finish this 3D print of her from Wicked and tell you about her tale. Early life. Tatsu Kari was born on March 16, 1986 in Tokyo, Japan. She was the only child and supposedly developed deep-seated issues with her father. She trained in various martial arts at a young age, a trait encouraged by her parents. When she reached adulthood, two brothers began to compete for her heart, Masao and Takeo Yamashiro. Yet, her decision to marry the former drove the latter into joining the Yakuza and be disowned by his family. Becoming Katana. Tatsu Yamashiro is an average Japanese girl, save for her proficiency in the martial arts, a trait encouraged by her parents. The two brothers, Masao and Takeo Yamashiro, both proclaimed her love for her. While she likes both, she chooses Masao as her husband. Enraged, Takeo refuses to attend the couple's wedding. Masao disowns his brother, who joined the Yakuza and took their mark of the dragon tattoo across his chest. Tatsu and Masao, mourning the death of Tatsu's parents, start a family of their own. Tatsu gives birth to twins, Yuki and Reiko. Meanwhile, Takeo rises through the Yakuza's ranks and indulges his exotic taste for ancient weapons. He is presented with a pair of matching swords by General Carnes, one of which Takeo favors for its mythical properties. Takeo spends days preparing himself before taking both swords to the Yamashiro residence, demanding his brother to duel for the prize of Tatsu. During the course of the struggle, a fire is started, and while Masao is distracted by his children, Takeo kills his brother with a sword that later becomes known as Soul Taker. Tatsu arises just in time to see her husband die and engage Takeo, gaining the upper hand and disarming him. Attempting to save her children, she hears her husband's voice coming from the sword, telling her they are already lost. Escaping with her life, Tatsu begins training as a samurai under a master called Tadashi. After much time, she graduates from his tutorship and leaves for America, where she intends to use her talents to fight for justice. She takes the codename Katana after the sword that she wields, possessed for some time by the soul of her husband. Becoming an outsider. Katana, as she originally appeared on a splash page of Batman and the Outsiders #1. Eventually, Tatsu journeys to Markovia, a small Baltic state, where she tracked down Carnes and is successful in killing him, inadvertently implicating Black Lightning in her crime. Attempting to rectify the misunderstanding by freeing Black Lightning, she encounters a young girl named Halo. The two join up to rescue Black Lightning, Batman, and Bruce Wayne's employee Lucius Fox from their captor, Baron Bedlam. Batman is himself in Markovia to rescue Lucius Fox, and having sought and failed to gain the help of the Justice League of America, resigned his membership in the Justice League. Inspired by the teamwork he encounters between Black Lightning, Katana, Halo, and Geoforce, Batman decides to form the Outsiders. The team manages to end the Baron's tyranny in Markovia and moves to Gotham City, where they set up their headquarters, a former penthouse of Bruce Wayne, secretly the Batman. Tatsu becomes Halo's guardian, and the two move into the penthouse. At the same time, Takeo is still at large and follows Tatsu to Gotham City. He attacks her and Halo at their home, overpowers Tatsu, and switches swords with her. He leaves for Tokyo with Tatsu on his tail. The Outsiders follow Tatsu and offer their help despite her desire to leave them out of it. Takeo takes the sword to his master, Oyabun, the godfather of the Yakuza, performing a specific ritual. The Oyabun and Takeo call forth the souls that inhabit the sword and give them corporeal form. Among them are legendary mercenaries and assassins, but also Masao, who is now a slave to the Obayun. Katana and the Outsiders have to fight them all but she is ultimately able to reclaim the Soul Taker from Masao. She is forced to kill her husband and then take the opportunity to kill Takeo, finally putting some of her ghosts to rest. Masao and those killed a second time by the Soul Taker pass on to their eternal rewards, leaving Takeo trapped in the sword in his place. At one point, the Outsiders split from Batman's leadership to take up residence in Markovia, where they funded by the Markovian Crown. They become the official agents of Markovia and move to the city of Los Angeles and make their headquarters in the Markovian embassy, while retaining another secret HQ just off the shore. Although Tatsu left her past behind, the Oyobun return and send a Tengu after her, with which he captures her. This mischievous spirit possesses her, and the Oboyun is able to use her as an assassin. Her teammates Halo and Looker are able to save her using other Tengu and the Tengu leader who aids them in battle. If you're enjoying the video so far, do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. Comment down below any other characters you'd like to learn about, and I'll try my best to add them to the list. Family, debt. Katana from the showcase to the hilt in the cover of the comic book. After various tragic events surrounding Geoforce's parents and Markovia, the team disbands. Nonetheless, the Outsiders are forced to defend Markovia against the Manhunters. During the fight, Halo is knocked into a coma, saving Katana's life. Bounded by Giri Ninjo, a debt of honor even unto death, Tatsu leaves the team to tend to Halo's wounds. During that time, however, she's approached by a family member of her husband, who wishes her to accompany the Suicide Squad on a mission to destroy a large horde of weapons that is about to be sold to the Yakuza. She declines on the basis of her Giri Ninjo, but is willing to help if the need is truly desperate. That family member is later killed, and she goes after the killer, the Daichi Doku's Oyobun, of which her relative is a member, who does not wish to see the weapons destroyed and tries to stop the Suicide Squad. During that adventure, she saves the life of Bronze Tiger and Manhunter, making them honor-bound to her Giri Ninjo. Mark Shaw then assists her in taking down the Daichi Doku's Oyobun. The Oyobun commits ritual suicide, and Katana stands by as his second, ready to help with a blade strike so he can keep his honor. Returning to the Outsiders. Eventually, the Outsiders reform and return to Markovia. Instead of a peaceful reunion, however, the team becomes trapped in a web of public relations that brand them outlaws. Although the charges are dropped eventually, the team is fractured. Halo dies from an assassin's blast but is reborn in a new body. This puts an immense strain on Tatsu's relationship with Halo. Katana joins a team with Geoforce and Technocrat, taking the lead. She develops a mild romantic relationship with Joey Hong, an Asian associate of Guy Gardner. During a lone mission, her old mentor Tadashi sends Lady Shiva to claim Katana's Soul Taker sword. Shiva confronts Katana, who is battling a gang of drug dealers. Katana slays many of them, but refuses to kill the youngest member, something Shiva insults her for. Shiva, renowned as the world's greatest assassin and fighter, kills Katana with her own sword. Katana returns to life after a trial by combat within her sword, which includes confronting many of the souls of the people she's killed. Afterwards, she finds her old mentor and takes his life. The two splintered teams eventually reunite to take on more supernatural threats focused around the new team member, Sebastian Faust. Katana and her friends destroying several of Felix's items of power. Soon after, the group breaks apart. After disbanding, Tatsu keeps her association with her old allies among the Outsiders, such as Black Lightning, Geoforce, and Halo. And although they do not operate as an official team, they are always together during major crises. Her close ties to Batman also see her fighting by his side, several times, notably during the Imperiex crisis and the Day of Judgment incident when Hell invaded Earth. The main battle against the villain, the Rogue Angel, Asmodel, with the power of the Spectre, takes place in New York. Katana personally protects Madame Xanadu, who guards the rest of the Asmodee's power with a mythical shield. Katana's protection of Xanadu is assisted by Dr. Occult, Phantom Stranger, and Alan Scott. Later, Katana assists Batman when he and Superman are declared outlaws. Katana is also called upon by Black Canary, together with other female mercenaries, to rescue Oracle from Senator Pullman. After Oracle is saved, Katana receives a card, together with the promise of a favor if required. Katana later returns to aid Oracle in issue 108 alongside dozens of other agents. New Outsiders. Later, Katana joins a new team of Outsiders after assisting them in defeating a powerful Sabak. That team consists of new members, with the exception of Metamorpho, who rejoins the team after Shift's demise. In Outriders Volume 3, number 42, Katana dons a new costume as she feels it inappropriate to wear a costume based on Japan's flag, since the country revoked her citizenship due to her membership with the controversial team. Later, Katana summons Sabak to destroy Dr. Sivana's base with his Hellfire. Katana remains an active member of the Outsiders following the 2006 1 year later continuity jump. Initially, the team is led by Nightwing, but later leadership transfers to Batman. Batman decides to test Katana and the rest of the initial team to design a better team. Katana is Batman's first official recruit. Blackest Night. While escorting Killer Croc to incarceration, the Outsider's vehicle is demolished by Masao, Yuki, and Reiko, who have all been revived by Black Lanterns. Katana, believing that she has been reunited with her lost family, lets her guard down, but is saved from death by her teammates. Realizing the truth, she draws her sword, preparing to fight her undead husband. When Katana stabs Masao, Soul Taker reveals to her the Black Lantern's full intentions. Her attacks soon prove to be completely ineffectual against Masao, who is instead destroyed by an outpouring of light from Halo, who also destroyed Katana's undead children. New 52. After a number of adventures with the Birds of Prey, Katana leaves the group to keep an eye on a cult of assassins known as the Daggers. She later accepts membership in Amanda Waller's New Justice League of America in exchange for information on her husband's murderers. When DC launched Justice League of America, they also launched the solo series Katana, focusing on Tatsu's abiding mission to track down her husband's killer. The series lasted 10 issues. After this, Katana made an appearance in Green Arrow Volume 5, where she is told by the mysterious blind man, Magus, that the death of her husband relates to the Outsiders, the society formed of various weapon clans and connected to Green Arrow's new origin story. The Soul Taker is worked into the Green Arrow mythology as the totem of the Sword Clan, which has parallels in the Fist, Mask, Shield, Axe, Arrow, and Spear clans. Representatives from each of these clans make up the Outsiders, a secret society dedicated towards ending global corruption, but which is itself largely corrupt. Katana joins the Outsiders. In Green Arrow Future's End, number 1, set 5 years later in one possible future, Tatsu is shown to still be a member of the Outsiders, which has developed a grudging relationship with Green Arrow, who rejected leadership of the Arrow clan in the main Green Arrow series 5 years before. Overall, I think Katana is an interesting character that isn't talked about too often and has much more to potentially grow. If you're interested in picking up her statue, go ahead and follow the link down below. That'll take you to our store that'll allow you to purchase her for yourself. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.